Yo, what's cracking everyone? Ericship 111 here. So seeing as there won't be a new Forza Motorsport game coming anytime soon on the new Xbox Series X, this most likely means that a new Horizon game will not be out until even later. Who knows, maybe 2023? Because of this, Playground Games now have ample amount of time to create a masterpiece of a Horizon game, which also means that Horizon 4 is going to have a longer lifespan. Honestly, I don't know how the developers are going to keep this game running for the next couple of years. Hopefully they might have a surprise in store for us, but at least every month the team have been able to provide us with free updates, which includes new cars to keep the game somewhat fresh. However, I do believe though, if they really want us to keep playing, the choices of cars that get brought in every month needs to be chosen wisely, as there has been some cars from past updates that the community hasn't been too thrilled about. Now, with the extensive car list that Forza has accumulated throughout its years, their catalogue of vehicles is undeniably rich. So looking back at past titles, let's take a look at 7 epic cars that can be easily brought back to extend the life of Forza Horizon 4. Starting off with number 1, the Nissan GTR Fast and Furious Edition. Only ever being featured once, you can get behind the wheel of Paul Walker's R35 GTR in the spin-off version of Forza Horizon 2, which was presented by Fast and Furious. Unfortunately, that game is no longer available to download, which is a bit of a shame really, as not only was it free, but it had a full campaign story, multiplayer features such as online adventure, and also a list of special cars to acquire that were directly from the Furious 7 movie. As a car that perhaps many of you watching never got to virtually drive, this GTR was an extreme powerhouse. Rated at Class S2 998, the list of modifications of this car in-game and movie remains a mystery. However, given that the car is already modelled to current gen specs, it won't be too difficult to bring it over to Horizon 4. The only issue, of course, is the licensing. And I know there are many other Fast and Furious cars which has been in the Forza franchise that could be brought back, but this is by far the rarest, and it would certainly spice things up within the world of Horizon 4. Number 2, the Honda Integra Type R DC2. Alright, I know we currently have the Acura Integra Type R, which is very respectable since Integra Type Rs in general are becoming highly sought after. But as cool as the USDM Integra is, it's not the true Integra Type R. Now, the last time we have seen the Honda Integra Type R was in Forza Motorsport 4, and there are an array of differences which makes the Japanese model stand out that would make it great to explore in Forza Vista mode. Elements such as the interior, which include Recaro seats, a Momo Racing steering wheel, the JDM cluster, all the way to the exterior where the front bar is completely different with larger and lighter OEM wheels. I'm not sure if Playground Games have really considered resurrecting this car back into the franchise for current gen titles, but with many Americans that love the Honda scene and make up a huge part of the Horizon 4 player base, I feel that it does need to be brought back. Number 3, the Lexus RCF. With the return of Toyota as a manufacturer, we have only seen one Lexus back in Horizon 4, and that is the LFA. Honestly, by now I would have imagined to have a few more Lexuses returning, including this, the RCF. Now, in terms of performance and what the car is in general, it's nothing really spectacular. It's comparable to the BMW M4 or the Mercedes C63 Black Edition. But why myself and many others want to see this car come back is simply because of the Rocket Bunny kit. I mean, it just transforms the car to an aggressive street eater with a rear wing so big not even aircrafts can compete against. Number 4, the Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren. Last seen officially in Forza Horizon 2, this was at one time considered as a hypercar. Yes, you heard that correct, a hypercar. You see, back in the early 2000s, many supercars during that era was pushing around 400 to 500 brake horsepower. Now, of course, there were some horsepower showcases that also existed, but none had the speed, handling, and pedigree like the SLR. As a joint project built between Mercedes and McLaren, this churned out a whopping 617 brake horsepower from a 5.4 litre twin-screwed supercharged V8, which made reaching 207 miles per hour look easy. But if we pull back all the performance along with its timeless design, one of the biggest reasons why we want this car to return is that in Forza Horizon 3, this car was secretly in the developer's build of the game, which made it that much more desirable, knowing that the team over at Playground Games do acknowledge the presence of this car, but for whatever reason has remained absent for the past two retailed Horizon title. Number 5, the Honda Civic 1.5 VTI. Shingo, Deathmatch, Spoon Sports are just some of the things we associate this EG Civic with. Arguably the most popular Honda ever produced, the last time we have seen this in a Forza game was in Motorsport 4. Want to know how much players love this car? Just simply type in Forza Motorsport 4 Civic on YouTube and you will see multiple builds and cruises specifically dedicated to this car. It was truly the epitome of car culture that we can all relate to, as it's a vehicle that's not out of reach to buy in reality, and when modified correctly has a lot of potential both on track and on the drag strip. Now, for those who are saying, well, we already have the EK Civic Type R, which is better than this non-Type R junk, that's the thing. Horizon 4 has been lacking these lower end cars to the point where every car we choose in the game is already its highest variant. This doesn't allow us to truly express how we modify our cars, because the truth is, most of us don't own the highest variant models of the cars we drive in reality, and that leaves a disconnection between us and the game. To me, the EG Civic is the people's champion, and I would love to see this car return. Number 6, the GMC Syclone. Come on, Playground Games, this is also another huge fan favorite. I remember back in the days of Forza Motorsport 5, players were using this to drift around, and it would annoy me so much because they were beating me until I tried it for myself and realized what a good drift car it actually was. Now, with that said, this pickup truck was so ahead of its time for a car that was built in 1991. It housed the 4.3 litre turbocharged V6, producing 280 brake horsepower, and it had all-wheel drive. Almost unheard of, as we are so accustomed to American cars featuring tyre burning rear wheel drive layout and a loud gas guzzling V8. Nonetheless, this car has now become a collectible, and it's strange that not only has this car not been featured in Horizon 4, but is also absent in Motorsport 7 too. I wonder what happened, but Playground Games, if you are listening, many of us want this back. Number 7, the SSC Ultimate Aero. At one point in time, this was the fastest production car in the world, achieving a top speed of a tested 257 miles per hour. It can go even faster with a theoretical top speed of 273 miles per hour. But what was incredible about this car was the power to metric weight ratio it possesses. Producing 1287 brake horsepower, it weighs lighter than the amount of power it produces at 1247 kilograms, essentially achieving the golden ratio that Koenigsegg managed to do only years after with the 1:1. This certainly makes the Ultimate Aero ahead of its time, but the reason why we want this car back so much is that it's been too long that the Ferrari 599XX Evo has been on top of the top speed food chain. We need a new car to dethrone the prancing horse, and this may be our last hope. So there we have it, guys, 7 epic cars that can be brought back to Forza Horizon 4 to potentially extend the life of the game, What do you guys think of this list? Are there any other cars within the Forza catalog that you would like to see return? Make sure to write it down in the comment section below. I do read them. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button. That would really help me out. And lastly, if you guys would like to see more Forza Horizon 4 content right here on this channel, make sure to click the subscribe button with notifications turned on. That way you won't ever miss out on another video that goes live, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.